Hello, my name is Mariana and this is a reading today for Pisces. So Pisces, I've done a reading with my own deck, one that I made in 2018. So the cards you'll see are from this deck. And it's really interesting, Pisces, because what I'm seeing with the cards that are already here, actually it came through with the very first card, but we'll get there. It's sort of like chess game that you're playing. It's like you're strategizing to make a first move, so you're considering how to approach something or someone, uh, or even how to begin a new game, right? As in a symbol for a new opportunity, a new situation, a new relationship, whatever. So we start off with the Eight of Wands, and straight away this came through with a visual image to me of an obstacle course, some sort of, it's like you're seeing that there's going to be a path, a tricky path that you're supposed to walk in the near future, right? That requires your very dynamic moves, or it's like quick decisions that you'll have to make, right? Turn left, turn right, go this way, go that way, do this or do that, say it like this or say like that. I feel like you're going to be asked, right? By the situation, by the universe, by the challenges that are presented, that I feel like you already have an intuition that is going to be tricky, but not tricky in a way that you're not able to overcome it. It's just that it's going to be fast paced, right? So you have to go with the flow very dynamically, respond very fast. And it's interesting because the card that followed, being the Fool, this is the new beginning, but it's interesting because if you've seen the thumbnail, there are also two aces. So it's emphasizing for me this new beginning, this new opportunity, this new relationship, this new idea of yours, or a new enterprise is how it's coming through, a new project maybe, right? But being the Fool, right, which is the card number 0 in the major arcana, it's like you have to be bold enough to begin this, knowing that it's going to be tricky, knowing that there are going to be challenges. No challenges, as I said, not in the difficulty of them, but just in the rush, or in the timing that they come, right? Or in the response that they ignite in you, right? The immediacy that it's like you don't have much time to think about it. Although with the two cards that are following the Fool, being the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords, this is what I'm saying. Here, you see the obstacle course ahead of time. So it's almost like you're playing chess, right? So before you begin the journey, right? Before you move the first piece on the table, right? You know that you have to plan ahead. You know that you have to, it's almost like you're thinking 3 moves ahead, right? Because you know that it's going to be very dynamic. And this obstacle course it's actually bringing out the best of you, right? Because you're making strategies very clearly. It's like, and with the Queen of Swords, it's interesting because this is how I'm seeing you playing this Fool, maybe to everyone else, but in reality, you're not making a foolish move, right? You're thinking very straight. You know where you're going. You know not only the next move, but 2 or 3 moves ahead. So there is a lot of clarity in you, but I feel like there is also a lot of strategizing in your part, right? Almost like trying to anticipate what are the challenges, or what are the situations that are going to challenge you in a way that you'll be asked to play a very bold move or to play a very risky part, right? It's almost like, and you know, this is interesting too. It's like you're making the first move. So I feel like you being this Queen of Swords with your mind very sharp, right? I'm sorry. With your mind very sharp, I feel like it's almost like this is the character that it's almost, it's you, but it's also your piece in your hand, right? Your chess piece in your hand. So, you know, maybe this is, it's interesting because I feel like you want people to see you as foolish because you want them to think that you don't have all the knowledge that you truly have. It's almost like you're trying to trick them. You're trying to trick, you know, whoever your opponent is. But, you know, because I'm not seeing actually an opponent, I'm just seeing like circumstances. It's almost like you want to trick life, or you want to trick the universe, you know, prove that you're smarter. This is actually very funny, Pisces, because I feel like you are already so intuitive, right? And I feel like you are using your intuition, but it's actually coming through more like logic and reason. You're using your mind very sharply, very clearly, right? And you're playing this full because this is the first move. So it's like, it's okay, you're embodying this character, right? But in reality, you'll know exactly what you're doing. So I feel like somehow, you know, this clear intent, or, you know, if you're seeing the whole obstacle course and you already know that you'll have to anticipate 2, 3, 5 moves ahead, right? It's like you're planning not only those steps, but you're planning very carefully what's going to be the first one, right? Because it determines the whole thing. And I feel like you being this Queen of Swords, planning very clearly what is going to be your next move, I feel like it's all in your mind still, right? It's all this very critical analysis that you're doing. It's almost like it's like that movie on Netflix, The Queen's Gambit, I feel like that's the name, where I forgot her name of the character, but the main character, she saw all the moves in her head. And this is how I'm seeing you, Pisces, right? You are still, and actually it's not only that your body is still because of the 5 of Pentacles that is following the Queen of Swords. So all the activity, right, is going in your mind. It's all like all of these moves, or all of these possibilities, right? If you go here, it happens this and that and that. And so you're seeing all the different scenarios and all of the different doors, or all of the different moves, right? But I feel like somehow also with the 5 of Pentacles, because I also I always see it as this X mark on the map, right? So it's signaling the perfect place for you to be. It's actually not the place for you to be, but although it could play out, you know, if we're talking about you starting something, you initiating something, a project, an idea, you know, actually making a move to approach someone, or something, maybe you are putting yourself in the perfect spot, right? So this is what all this strategizing is about, is you finding within all of the possibilities, all of the doors opening up, right? All of the different ways to overcome this obstacle course. Which one is the best starting point? The best starting point, right? So this is your first move. It's not actually moving, it's actually finding the perfect place to start. See? It's being emphasized like this because I feel like this is critical, Pisces, for you, finding the perfect place to start, right? Because after it, we have these two cards. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So there are a few things here, because you're coming, you know, not only very boldly with the Fool, but also playing the part of the fool for everyone else to think that you are just a fool. But in reality, being very smart, knowing exactly what you're doing and thinking things through, right? Very thoroughly, very, very deep, right? You're strategizing very deep here. And you know, ending with the Ten of Swords, I feel like, because, okay, so before we go to the Ten of Swords, first of all, this Ace of Cups, you know, it's another ace. As I said, you have a lot of aces. So I feel like not only this is a big new chapter, this is a big new beginning for you, one that you have to be very mindful of where you begin, because in a sense, it's not that you have to strategize or think about it rationally first. It's because this perfect place is essential that you find it, because this movement is going to begin a path where your heart will be very exposed. So what I'm sensing here is like all of this strategy, as I said, it's not really because you have an opponent or you have someone to approach, or maybe you do, right? But I feel like the first move requires a lot of attention. It's how it's coming through. A lot of attention and mindfulness, right, on your part, because you do have many possibilities with the Ten of Swords, and all of them require full exposition, full showing, full opening of your heart. It's like Pisces, you have to put yourself in this perfect location to start this journey that requires your bold first move to initiate whatever new beginning you are initiating, that you already see that it's going to be a little bit tricky but also exciting, right? The Eight of Wands also promises this exciting journey, right? So yes, you have to be very mindful, because I feel like for you, all this consideration, all this analysis that you're doing so thoroughly, taking your time, right? And actually accepting this role, right? Putting yourself in this role, but knowing what you want, actually knowing how to control your thoughts, right? So although, yes, this is a beginner, right? That could be taken as very foolish by others. I feel like you are no fool. You are not immature. You already know how to control your mind. I feel like your real challenge here is about your heart, is about opening your heart to a level that, you know, because it is an obstacle course, right? So there are obstacles to be overcome. And I feel like in your mind, in your very, very knowledgeable mind, right? You're trying to anticipate, because with the Ten of Swords, I feel like every possibility that you're considering, all of them require this extreme vulnerability of yours, right? All of them. This Ten of Swords is talking about either way, whichever option you choose, right? Whichever first move you make, when you find the perfect starting point, right? All of them will require this full openness of your heart. So it is tricky because of that, right? Because there is no option that will not make you feel like you are emotionally exposed, you see? So, but I feel like you are going to be bold enough, and you are going to find the perfect location. And even though, yes, it could be triggering old beliefs, right? Old wounds, old hurts. I feel like with this Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the Fool, and because you are already seeing, you are already expecting the trickiness of it, the challenging of it, the challenges of it, right? I feel like you are going to overcome it. You are going to be vulnerable to a point where this will feel more like an ending, right? As a 10, right? An ending instead of the 2 aces and the Fool, right? So there are 3 new beginnings in a sense with just 1 ending. So yes, this is where we end this part of your reading. I feel like you are playing this chess game in a sense in your life, Pisces, but we'll see what the cards want to continue to say about this message. I'm going to pull more cards in the extended, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes for you as a final guidance. So if you want to continue to the extended with me, I'll be happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.